Hey, what up, people? The Football Talkative. I'm your host, Aybee. Listen, let's just say it's not easy to be an Arsenal fan because most of Arsenal fans temporarily probably went into shock or temporarily went into collapse because what was about to happen. But mercy said no. I'm not gonna let you go. There's so many people who are typed up their comments. They're ready to splash at the final whistle. But you see, when God is on your side, who can be against you, bro? Arsenal versus Wolves at home. This was looking like easy game, walk in the park. In fact, anybody who was low on stats, probably you're expecting to use this game to up their stats a bit. But it was nothing short of disappointing, man. I have to say, we know Wolves went and packed the bus. By the way, what is it with all these small teams, just like, being so open and free against all these other teams like Man United, Chelsea's and the rest. But then when it comes to Arsenal, they turn into like that prime Mourinho pack the bus, that prime Mourinho low block. Like, what's up with that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Let Arsenal live, man. What's all that? Wolves are not just ranking as the worst team in Premier League. They're actually ranking as one of the worst teams, if not the worst performing teams in Premier League history. And then they're facing the potential league champions, top of the table. What else do you need to turn up? And I'd say, man, Arsenal under-delivered in that first half especially. No shots registered until, was it like the 65th minute or something like that? Which is crazy. So, on that note, I actually have to give it to Wolves because their game plan was actually working. They did well, sat back, limited Arsenal, and Arsenal just lacked ideas in that first half. For a long time in the game, it looked like if anything was going to happen, it was going to definitely be from Saka's side because Martinelli, I don't know what was happening against Martinelli. Can't beat his man, losing the ball, touches are heavy and all of that. What was crazy is that with Martinelli, it wasn't until when he was about to get taken off, then he finally did what he was supposed to do, beat his man. And then even when he turned his man, got into the box, did he square the ball? No. From that very tight angle, he tried to bend it to the far corner, which was, oh man. The game was all shades of frustrating. No creativity whatsoever, Tempo, build-up wasn't as fluid and all of that. Eze non-existent again. Let it all work out and all of that. But listen, if you actually look and be honest here, it's not entirely working out because apart from goals here and there, but in game, Eze is not doing nothing. That's the honest truth. He's not doing anything. Against Wolves, this guy was... And the thing with Eze is this. The theory around the fan base was always that, oh, Odegaard is too slow, he kills the attack and all this other bullshit, which I can understand. But at the same time, these are the same people who like De Jong, Pedri, Modric and all these guys. And the thing is, every kind of creative player that you've known in recent years, one of the characteristics of a creative player is, yes, they kind of dwell on the ball. They tend to dwell on the ball a bit longer because them dwelling on the ball is what leads to those very dangerous opportunities that they create that everybody claps their hands for. From last season when Odegaard returned from his injury, that he wasn't performing well, he slows down the attacks, he's lacked his creativity and all of that. And we needed a maverick, we needed this goal threat, we needed this person that will decide games on his own. And in comes Eze. Eze, you're supposed to be that guy, bro. I'm not expecting Eze to control and dictate things in the midfield and manipulate the midfield as a whole, because as I've always been of the opinion of, you don't just walk into midfield. Midfield is a different ball game. That's one area of the pitch where your all-round game intelligence, your game IQ, your anticipation, all those things need to be on point because the mechanics it takes to play in midfield is very different. Just because you can pass doesn't mean you can play in midfield. That's just the truth. You require legs to play in midfield. We require positioning, anticipation, so many more ingredients that if you don't have in your locker, even though you may be skillful and techy on the ball, it won't matter. You will tire out, and all those skills, you forget them. What I thought Eze will bring to the team is this. probably he would lose the ball a bit more than Odegaard because he's not as, he's not as put together and not as neat and tidy as Odegaard on the ball. He's probably not that guy that will dwell on the ball and exchange 50 passes in midfield to create an attack. But what I thought he would bring is some directness, willingness to get the ball, drive at players, drive at people within those pockets around the edge of the box. Even if you're not getting shots off or creating direct chances, but be a threat with your dribbling and your ball carrying. Create some fouls, create some, some indirect opportunities for us. Absolutely nothing. If Odegaard plays the way Eze has been playing, people will say he's hiding. So let's keep that same energy, bro. Lots of changes came in and it looked a bit better. It wasn't still up to the standard of no Arsenal, but it looked a bit better. Gyokeres, time to just admit, bro. Like, I know there's always this thing about, people don't find him and all of that, which potentially could be true. But the thing is this, as a player, as a forward, you also have responsibility for the kind of opportunities you're going to receive. People will say he makes runs. Yes, but you have to, you see, making runs is not, just because you run along with defenders doesn't mean you're making runs. What kinds of runs though? How are you creating separation? And how are you creating those lanes to which somebody can play a pass? And then there's also a confidence factor as well. If they are playing passes to you with your back to goal and you're losing your balance all the time, your touch is a bit heavy, what confidence does anybody have to now feed you the ball within a tight channel? So Gyokeres needs to do more. His movement, his anticipation isn't up there yet. I just think there's plenty he could improve, as a striker. Even if you're not this type of striker that will pick the ball outside the 18-yard box and put it top bins, which I've never really expected him to be anyway. But within the box, your movement has to be deceptive enough. You need to be able to create separation, probably run along with the defender, sell him in a particular direction, then peel off, take a step back, do something, hesitate, drop your shoulder or something and just lose him. But it seems like he likes to get in between the center backs, and what that means is you make the person on the ball, whether they're crossing or they're trying to pass, to have to play that ball in such a way that it beats the defenders and finds you in between them, which is way more difficult to do. So yeah, Arsenal narrowly escaped, we have to be honest with that one. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be on your game like that, at least win the game. And 3 points on the board, Arsenal still top. And yeah, need not forget, more injuries for Arsenal. God needs to intervene. Good game for Chelsea. Cole Palmer back on the score sheets, back showing why Chelsea have missed him for a long time. And yeah, Reece James again putting another shift in midfield. I'd say, man, big credit to Reece James. The way he's covered and the way he served the team in the absence of Caicedo. Even though the results have not always gone in their way, I'm not saying they've looked exactly the same without Caicedo, but still, the job he did in midfield has been nothing short of, amazing. There's something I noticed. Maresca had some kind of a rotation going on between Reece James and Malo Gusto, and that really helped. So really good, like, temporary fix for the Chelsea midfield there. Chelsea got the 3 points on the board, which is important. Trying to bounce back from recent results. It's not really been going their way. So yeah, Chelsea. I thought you have something for me this week, but we'll see next week. Liverpool getting the 3 points as well. Much better performance, looking really dangerous, especially on the counter. There's a lot of anticipation with this one because what's going to happen? Will Salah play? Will Salah not play? Is this the last? Salah is it time for Salah to go and all of that? Salah started on the bench. Unfortunately, Joe Gomez had to go injured, and then Salah came on, and then actually Salah played quite well. It's just, I don't know, as it's been with him this season, at certain points, the end product, that final ball was missing. Like, there was this counter they had, which was like vintage Liverpool from last season, where the opposing team had a corner kick, and then they had this brilliant counter. Van Dijk was up there to support. I think it was Chiesa as well. They were like in open space. All they just needed was a good ball, good through ball, and he still fumbled it, you know. Got an assist, you know. Granted, it was from a corner kick, but still, you know, good response from the guy. For me personally, I thought that would be his last game, but I guess they found a way to address it internally. Chiesa looked good. This guy probably should start more games. Ekitike, bro. This guy, sharpshooter, you know. This guy just needs half a chance. So you see, like Ekitike now, you know, I mean, can we really say that Ekitike is being found all the time in the box and in his preferred position? He goes on the wing and all of that. But you see, the runs he makes, you know, the way he uses the ball, all those things help in the build-up. They help the rest of the team to fashion chances for you. You know, got 2 goals in this game. I think he's up to double figures for the season as well, which is really good. So yeah, man, Liverpool starting to look a bit good now. Manchester United. You see, when your week doesn't always go too well, there's always Manchester United to make you feel a bit better. Probably we're laughing at Arsenal, or you needed corner kicks, you needed own goals to win and all this bullshit. But look at you now. Who is Set Piece FC now? Yeah, I don't know what it was with Bournemouth, man. Defensively looked a bit shaky. Their keeper, bro. You see Petrovic here, that guy, agent from Chelsea. This dude was just like fumbling the whole game. Arms were shaky and all of that. Most of the chances United got, they tended to be like errors and missed kicks and all of that from the Bournemouth backline. Mbeumo was looking lost again, touch heavy, not looking decisive and all of that. It's crazy how the period where Mbeumo now starts to dip, that's when Cunha is beginning to look a bit better. And overall, I have to say, you know, United is really like a confusing club. You know, I don't know what kind of cloud exists over that club. But on the one hand, you think, okay, Amorim has found his starting 11. They're probably playing a bit better. They're like improvements. Seems like the players are adopting the system a bit, you know. And on the other hand, it's like, no, it's still not working because they are leaking in all these goals. Like literally so it now makes you wonder, are they really improving, or are teams just so open and positive against them because they don't really respect them as a threat like that? Because look how all the Bournemouth goals happen, like look fragile on set pieces. They just carve through them. And I'd say towards the end of the game, Bournemouth probably would have stolen the game. And I don't know, man. Manchester United is Manchester United is like the 7th or 8th wonder of the world that needs to be studied, man, because nobody understands. It's like you're trying to moonwalk, but you keep going forward. Draw probably was a fair result. Bruno doing his thing again from a free kick. Brilliant free kick, by the way. Like, boy, no keeper is saving that, bro. That's just one thing with this dude, man. You can't give him half a chance around the edge of the box. United really would have used this win because they're going to be missing Mbeumo and Diallo to AFCON, I think. Yeah, they definitely will. So that's almost like, oh, and they're missing Mazraoui as well. So that's almost like their entire right side gone. So it's going to look good in a few weeks coming. Not for Man United though, for the rest of us. Well, for me especially, because I hate Man United. City with, I guess what you see, a very top away performance, you know. Yeah, Haaland scores again, Foden scores again. Ryan Shaqiri, I have to say, since he's been like brought more into the first team, into the starting 11, City look a lot more dangerous. They carry more threats, more creative threats. And this guy is just a brilliant player, bro. This guy is too good, bro. Shaqiri is too good. Like when he drives with the ball, it looks like he's stuck to his foot. And you always think something is about to happen because City got pressed many times. City got pushed and pressured with opportunities many times in that game. But every time City went forward, it just seemed like they're more clinical, more decisive with their finishing. Really important win as well because, you know, keeping that gap to just 2 points behind Arsenal. And yeah, piling pressure on Arsenal despite some of their defensive fragilities and being exposed a few times. But yeah, Like I said, in this business, especially like in Premier League, man, like the results is what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, December is looking like it's going to be fun, man, in terms of the title race and just the league in general. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. It's your boy AB. I'm your host AB, and I'm out.